What's up, my people, to another episode of the Lone Wolf Podcast. Thought today I'll do a short video on how I came to faith in Christ. I hope it's gonna be short because you know me, when I get to talking, sometimes I don't stop. So I'm gonna try to make this as short as I can, just to simplify it. So before I even start, just to point this out, I am not no great theological person or anybody that's all the questions. I don't got it all answered, and I'm not gonna pretend to. But just I'm gonna describe how I came to my own faith in Christ and how I think if you're not, it's something worth considering looking into. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, when I was growing up, I did have my mom who was like a believer. She used to always try to take us to church and force us to church, but like the church we was going to, it was like they weren't like mega churches, but they was like they were big churches. You know what I'm saying? Ones where you had more of a Caucasian population and more people with like more money. You know what I'm saying? So when I was hanging around those people, like the kids kind of was like more privileged and they acted like it too. Like honestly, that kind of turned me off from Christianity. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things like that black mom, she's believing, she's trying to get you to become in the faith too and follow and do what's right. But honestly, that wasn't for me at the time. You know what I'm saying? And first of all, when you kind of forced to go to church, you kind of resent it. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people can say that when you're forced to do certain things, like you end up resenting it. And that's what it was for me. You know what I'm saying? My mom forced us to go to church. I was like, yo, like, this sucks, but, I'll suffer for these 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? And just do what you want me to do. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, my mom, she tried, but like I said, it wasn't for me. But, you know, I think when I got older, like I think it was high school, like for some reason, just out of blue, like I don't know, it was weird. Just out of blue, like something was telling me that I need to go to church. You know what I'm saying? And then actually I actually started going to church on my own accord. In high school, this happened. I was like, you know what? Something in me is urging me to go to church on my own accord. I'm not forced at this time. My mom, she would go to church every now and then at this point. And I was like, hey mom, if you when you going to church, wake me up and I want to go to church with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I think I first started trying to like get into my own little growing in faith. But the thing is, right after that, like as a family, we kind of went downhill. Like my family actually got evicted from where we was living at, and I live in Florida, and I was living in Florida at this time, and we actually ended up moving to Mississippi, and that kind of just wiped out all belief at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no time to be a believer when you're getting evicted. You're moving states in high school. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta at that point, deal with that. You know what I'm saying? My family, we went through some rough patches. You know what I'm saying at that point, but it ended up like everything I turned around. My family, I think we were a very resilient family. Like we ended up coming back from that either way. You know what I'm saying? And bouncing back. So then I got fast forward years. I'm still at like from high school. Graduate high school. I was like a believer. I guess I believed in God. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I was agnostic. I believed in God, but I wasn't big on the whole Christianity thing and all that. But I just believed in God. You asked me if I was believing in God, I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But if you ask me anything about like Christianity or all that stuff, like nah, I wasn't with all that. What I felt was like rules and regulations. The people I met who I felt were not, just gave me a bad taste in my mouth about faith. But hey, fast forward, I graduated high school, and then at 19 years old, I actually ended up going to the army. You know what I'm saying? That's when I think it was the same thing. Like early on, like I prayed a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I was infantry in the army, and I remember like a lot of times when it got rough, like in the field. We was doing out in the field doing our drills and all that stuff, like preparing to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to pray a lot because it was rough in the field. I'm not gonna lie, like infantry is not like sitting on your ass and you know what I'm saying. And that's another thing I want to say this. I'm not a perfect Christian. I do curse it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not just sitting, and I'll just correct myself now. It's not sitting on your behind in the field. You know what I'm saying? Um, you're actually working. You know what I'm saying? You're doing drills, and I was in Fort Hood, Texas, so we're talking about high heat. You know what I'm saying? Like 90, 80, 90 degrees. We're out there fighting and doing our drills and rehearsals and whatnot. So like that's when I used to pray a lot. You know what I'm saying? And just the peace that I got from praying got me through it. You know what I'm saying? We out there for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time, sometimes nearing a month. I mean, obviously in the army, like in my at least in my unit, we had like a little days where we go and I was trying to watch my language. So the term would be we shower, shave. You know what I'm saying. You can fill in the blank for the first word I was trying to block out. We got a little breaks, but like in total of time, it was a lot of time out there. So like the peace from praying really got me through a lot. You know what I'm saying. So but then for all that rehearsal, we ended up getting sent overseas to Korea, and that's when I actually converted. Now it's a weird conversion story. When I was in high school, I'm gonna backtrack. When I was in high school, I had this one girl. I don't know even know how I came up with a conversation, but she was like, "Do you know who Lecrae is?" And I was like, "Who is Lecrae?" Like you all know about the famous musicians, but I was like, "Who is Lecrae?" But somehow when I graduated high school, I ended up downloading this guy's music. It was pretty good at the time, and then somehow when I was in the army in Korea, I was we used to ride the buses. If you didn't have like a vehicle, and obviously we were sent there, so we don't have vehicles. But you used to ride the bus everywhere you wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? So somehow I had my headphones on, had my phone, and Lecrae's music was on my phone. A phone I bought in Korea too. So I don't know how his music ended up on my phone, on my on my music list. But I found him and I was like, let me check out who this guy is. You know what I'm saying? Let me listen to his music. I don't know what it's about, but I wanna just give it a try. And I just like he kept talking about God. So, and let me just give you a little description. Lecrae is a Christian rapper. There is such thing as Christian rap if you don't know. So, I know a lot of people probably gonna lose their mind over that, but there is such thing as Christian rap. And Lecrae is like I guess well, I wouldn't guess probably the biggest Christian rapper. Um, so I listened to him. He just kept talking about God, and the music was good. Some parts of it was relatable. So like that's when I first was like, you know what? Let me look into this God character. You know what I'm saying? Like, who is this God character? And so I was talking to my mom about it. She was like, hey, you should check out this app. It's called iDisciple. So I downloaded that, and just the first thing was I didn't like I actually started researching like Christianity. Like I wasn't reading just Bible stuff. I was reading Bible scripture and then reading like the background behind it, the meaning behind it. You know what I'm saying? So it was very different, you know what I'm saying, on how I was coming to it. So then it became like I used to go off post, Korea, because they have some amazing food off post. Like these places like hole in the walls, but they cook the most amazing food ever. So I just go out post, and every time I was going out post, like it was this church that it was like a Protestant church, and I used to pass it every time. You know what I'm saying? And just it kept like something was urging me again, like yo, go in there, go in there, go in there. So one day I'm actually at the main food court on Korea. I was on Camp Casey, and I seen like they call it the Gospel Church, or not Gospel. Yeah, I think it was the we'll just go with the gospel church, okay? And there was advertising their church. It was actually like it was three black people, and no offense, but obviously let's be honest here in the world, you connect with people that you look like. So when I got people like three black people that's like advertising church, and someone's already telling me to go to a church already, I get people advertising that look like me advertising to go to church. That kind of led me to go to it. So they gave me like a little flyer, and it kept having like scriptures and the application and stuff. So I just kept reading that over and over and over again. I was like, yo, like I gotta take this step. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go. So I actually didn't go to that church specifically. I went to the Protestant one that I kept passing by whenever I was leaving the base. And yeah, man, it was just like a great experience. I was experiencing true peace and whatnot. And then came when actually time went on, I actually ended up going to the gospel church, and that was just amazing. Like that was an amazing time period. I mean, just the music, the people. Like this is like a multi ethnic church. This is you had white, you had the Koreans, and then you had black people. And yeah, I don't think it was really any Hispanics, but yeah, white, black, and Korean, all in there just having fun. I mean, it was some days, man. I almost cried in that church. Just the preaching, the music, it was just a beautiful experience. And so at some point through all that, I just kind of, I was like, you know what, God, I'm riding with you. You know what I'm saying? And then like once I did that too, like it just kept going on. Like I ended up trying to learn about the Bible and just meaning behind it, not just reading the Bible. Then I started buying books to read. A lot of them weren't the best. Like I got a John Piper book. Obviously, if you're a new Christian, you don't want to really read a John Piper book. Like he's very deep into theology, right? In his writings, and yeah, those books kind of turned me off. I was more bored than anything. But just reading the Bible, praying, and that got me through a lot. Like I said, I experienced so much peace by doing that, and just life got a lot better. And then I started going to Bible studies. Those were amazing. I remember I was in there for Christmas and New Year, so the church service having all those ceremonies, and I was loving life. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I really gave my life over to Christ. And yeah, I just want to take that back for the world. But then I left Korea. Now we're back in the States, still in the Army, back in Texas. And, while actually in Korea, I actually was trying to convert some people, to the faith too. Like I just put in good work. I think I put in a lot of seeds in people's heads. And a lot of them I don't keep in touch with, but I hope they have, did. A lot of them, like, they actually became going to regulars at church, and they used to tell me, like, I had a sergeant who did that, a friend who said he actually was thinking about going to learn about theology in college, So I think I'm planting a lot of good seeds, you know what I'm saying? So I hope they continue on with it, because to this day I'm in the faith. Like Korea, that was back in 2013, and we're in 2022 right now, and I'm still riding this thing out, you know what I'm saying? So that just continues until now. Till this day, being realistic, I do have my ups and downs in the faith. I do have questions in the faith. I am a cop right now. At times I do not do everything to like I guess a Christian standard of living. You know what I'm saying? I snap on people a lot. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like with my job, obviously it's a fine line between letting people run over you and just being rude. And sometimes I've gotten to the point I've just gotten angry at people. Like this job it kind of gets on you. So like that's what I'm saying. So like I have ups and downs in the faith. You know what I'm saying? I do gotta. I do gotta pray to God sometimes, like, yo, like, Lord, yeah, like recently I had to come to, I was like, yo, like, Lord, I am losing my temper pretty quickly nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It's like am I becoming jaded? You know what I'm saying? So understand, like, when it comes to like being like a faith-based person, like, you understand you are a sinner in need of a savior. So understand you're gonna mess up. That's why a lot of people, when they bring up these pastors, they did this and that. I'm like, okay, I guess I can expect it. Like I didn't want it to happen to him, like this pastor or this woman, but I can see it happening. Like you're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like Christianity, you're changing your mind, your actions, but you're still a human. You're gonna mess up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna make an excuse for you, but I'm gonna understand that you are a sinner in need of a savior, so you are gonna mess up. So I don't want you to, but if it happens, I know and I expect it to happen. That's why, so people messing up, we need to take our time to pray for these people and not try to drag them down. You know what I'm saying? What's that Hillsong pastor that cheated on his wife recently? I think John Gray, he cheated on his wife recently. Like, we've had a lot of issues going on with the faith lately, but like like I said, I pray for them, but like like I don't expect these things not to happen. Like I said, you don't want to happen because you're a Christian and they're a Christian, but it's gonna happen. Especially like a lot of these people in these high positions. This whole nother tangent. These people, a lot of these pastors in high positions, I don't think they have like a good community around them. I think they think they're a little bit above that at that point, which they're not. You always need to have a good community around you. That's why I advocate Bible studies. We have these little study groups at churches. I would advocate you go to that and get involved, or just get good people around you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, to this day, I have my ups and downs with this faith. I still got questions that I need answering, but at this point, like I've seen God work through so many ways in terms of me when I was in the army and as of right now, that I'm like, I would never turn my back on him, you know? And then on top of that, I've seen some weird things, kind of like right before I became a Christian and after a Christian, like of the, I guess you could say the paranormal nature. Like, I remember one time I had this weird dream, and I think this was right before, and I had this one dude, he wasn't a Christian, but his family was like, like strict religious people, and he used to tell us that. So I confided in him at one point. Like I had this one dream one day in the army, and like I don't know, I just woke up in my barracks room. Like the dream was me in my barracks room. It was literally like me, like laying in my bed. That's how my dream was going. And I seen like this cannibal like person eating, literally eating an arm, and then it looked up at me, and then it turned, it then started like laughing, like the hills have eyes type situation, like those little cannibal type things, and how they was it looked at me and laughed at me, then like turned into a black dust and jumped into my body, and then like I literally was choking when that happened. Like I was literally choking, and then I woke up like gasping for breath, and it was weird. And then and that actually happened like when I was still in Fort Hood before Korea. So then you fast forward to I got back from Korea. I literally had like the dream again with that same cannibal. Now I'm converted, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I converted in Korea. I had that same cannibal again on my barracks room for different barracks rooms. I got different barracks when I got back from Korea. So literally in my barracks room again, looking at me, and it jumped at me, and I literally said in the dream, I said Jesus, and it turned to a black dust and just went over me. Like remember the first time it went inside of me and was choking me. This time I said it was still in its form and jumped at me, and I said Jesus, and it just turned to a black dust and it went over me. Like didn't go inside me. So I just went over my head and like flew away. And I woke up the next day and I was like, yo, like this is weird. And I've had some crazy things happen, and there's one story that I'm gonna say for another time, another day, that really kind of sums up why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm where I'm at right now. But like I said, I've had some weird experiences and dreams and occurrences happen since coming to the faith that I can't explain. And I know a lot of people, they have these weird experiences in life, and they just chalk it up to coincidence. I'm not gonna do that. Like I know at this point how God works in me and through me, you know what I'm saying? Just like I know one of the things that God does for me, if I'm not doing something according to his will, he puts roadblocks up in my way to the fact I know that I need to stop. And this has been proven on many occasions to the point that I know, like whenever it's something that I need to do, God doesn't put anything in the way. But if it's something that he knows I do not need to do, he puts up roadblocks, you know what I'm saying? And I literally just had happened last year where he was putting up a roadblock, and I literally just kind of disregarded the roadblock and just and went on my own way, and once again another story of another day, and let's just say why it did not go well for me. So the thing is, you're gonna have ups and downs in this faith. You're gonna have some weird things happen in this faith, and I'm not living by coincidence at this point. There's no reason for me to say this just happened to happen. No, I know God's here. I know he's working in me, and I know he's working through me. Even on my job, a lot of times I'm like the way I can like keep a calm demeanor even when everybody else is losing their mind. I think that is a big factor. I chalk it up to God. I think it's a big factor how a lot of people, they calm down and are more receptive to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? And so just to sum it up, to this day I'm still grinding. With my job, sometimes it is kind of hard to be a Christian. It is. My job, you see a lot of you want people to just like turn from their ways and become a follower of Christ. It's the better way. But obviously, what I've learned is not forcing your belief on anybody is not a way to go. Um, I believe that you should obviously let people see the fruit in your life, and that should lead them to want to become like you. Like people like, hey, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God or any of that, but they just see you doing so much good that they kind of want to learn. You know what I'm saying? My thing was, like I said, I saw that's why I listen to Craig to this day, because really, like I think he was like one of the lead. He led me to faith in a sense. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I listened to his music, and that led me to want to research more. So just I think just, people, the way they see you living life is gonna lead them, and that has worked on numerous occasions. Because the people that I was trying to, talk to and just try to, give them a little words, like, and obviously when I first started trying to help people out, try to lead them to the faith, I wasn't the best version at it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like forceful, like you need to read the Bible, but I just wasn't the best at discussing it, especially because I was learning on the job myself. You know what I'm saying? But just I think people seen that I was like genuine with what I was doing. Like I wasn't out at the club drinking and partying and smoking. And listen, just because these things do happen. Let's just keep it G. And then even right now, like at this point, like I with my friends, I ain't gonna lie, I have had moments where I was drinking, I got drunk, even while being saved. You know what I'm saying? But right as of like lately, I've been actually on that point. I'm like, yo, like even I've like stopped drinking. Like the last 2 times I hung out with my friends, I've just been sober. And obviously, you can drink as a Christian. The what God says is the spirit of drunkenness is a sin, not drinking. So some people I know they want to put rules on the faith, and I don't believe in that. I think that distracts a lot of people. That's why I call it religion. Is when people put rules that doesn't need to be had. If it's good for you, it works for you. But if you're just applying rules just to seem more Christian than the next person, that's a big issue. So lately, even my friends, I haven't been drinking at all. Like I've just been sober because I don't, like I said, I want people to see a true genuine faith. So I believe I gotta live my own faith out to be able to give it to the next person. You know what I'm saying? So in the end, I'm still grinding. I'm still a Christian, still a cop, struggling. I'm still out here doing my thing and trying to be the best that I can. So this is my short story about how I came to faith, and at this point, man, I'm sold out. I was literally just watching a video earlier with Andy Frizella. He's like a motivational guy. He's talking to a dude named Chad Wright, who was like a former Navy SEAL, and he was like, "Yo, I'm sold out for Jesus." So this is Navy SEAL saying this is not no little, I grew up in church boy. This is like a former Navy SEAL. Like, yo, like I'm sold out for Jesus, and that's how I feel. I've been through so much that I can only attribute it to my faith. You know what I'm saying? Just me as a person growing as a man, and just these last like year plus going on now, like God's been leading me on like a path, man. It's wild. I'm just growing so much in the faith and as a man, and I gotta keep pushing because he is pushing me, you know what I'm saying, to be better and do better. And I can't thank him enough. Like when it comes down to this, like my faith walk, faith walk ain't no cakewalk. I will say that, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So I thank God for everything as of right now. I'm gonna keep rocking out with him. And it's just sad that a lot of people I'm seeing today is turning their back on God. A lot of people saying they're walking away from the faith. They're deconstructing their faith, which I don't know what that means. I mean, if it's what I think it means, like you're stepping back and evaluating, okay, because I kind of have been through that in my experience too. Like I've had to step back. Like I know in a lot of times the Black Lives Matter stuff was going on and all the riots and the shootings and stuff. Obviously, like I'm a cop, so it kind of affects me both ways. I am a minority and I am a cop, so like that kind of got me because I didn't hear like a lot of support from like more of like the white leaders in the area. I think John MacArthur actually said that the greatest threat to Christianity was I can't think of the word that he used, but he said something like it was like the greatest threat to Christianity was like the Black Lives Matter move, not the Black Lives Matter in itself, like I guess the political to get like the church against like the political aspect and trying to fight for change, some of that. So if you look it up, you'll find it because he caused a lot of heat. But yeah, so like I kind of went through a little period where I was like, yo, like I don't believe like these pastors are kind of helping us out like we should, you know what I'm saying? And that kind of hurt me for a bit, but I kind of chalked it up as like that's more of like a man's issue, that's not a God issue, you know what I'm saying? So you know, that, like I said, that's man, like it is what it is. I have no control over that, but I do have control over how I'm gonna live my life and fight for my faith. So like I said, I went through a little deconstruction period, but it was nothing where I need to announce it and make it seem like I'm walking away. Like at this point, I don't see myself ever walking away from the faith. I've seen a lot by now. I don't think there is anything that can do that. I mean, I may grieve for some people. Like if my mom or my dad die, I'm probably gonna grieve pretty hard. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's anything that's gonna make me walk away from the faith. You know what I'm saying? But and I've seen like a lot of death. You know, I've been to the funerals. My job, I see death a lot. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people that just aren't living right. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I don't think anything that's gonna make me change my faith. But I'm just here to say that I do love God, and I'm sold out for Him, and I know He loves me, especially how He's kept me in line in my life and just staying on the right path. Because honestly, the way I grew up, it is pretty easy. So it was pretty easy. The neighborhoods I grew up in, the way I grew up, and not having a lot of money growing up, it would be easy for me to have turned my back on God and just went my own way and did my own thing. But looking back, just everything just leads me to where I'm at right now, and I know God's behind it all. So I'm sold out for Him. I love Him, and I don't regret any part of it. Although it's been hard, I don't regret any part of it. So to the believers, I just want you to keep fighting the good fight. You know what I'm saying? And to the ones that aren't believers or agnostics, I want you to do a little bit more research. Don't let anybody make the decision for you. Do your own research. Because trust me, I've heard the atheist arguments. They never really got to me. Because like I said, my beginning my faith was me researching. So I kind of had an answer for the atheist, objections. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't. And they have the atheists come to them and they lose their faith right then there because they don't know what the answer is to the argument. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, do your own research. Don't let the atheist Bill Mars, or however you say his name, or whoever, or Sam Harris, don't let them make decisions for you. Or if you're on the Christian angle, don't let Ravi Zacharias or John Piper, be be your arguments. Like research it yourself and find your own answers and come to a true faith. You know what I'm saying? And I hope one day somebody can see this and I can meet them and they can say how they actually went on that experience and that journey and it led to them to have a faith. You know what I'm saying? So you know fight the good fight, do some research, and come to your own conclusions. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, peace, love, and respect. Lone Wolf Podcast out.